I was mid-sentence in a document when the trackpad went still and my cursor moved on its own. Someone started opening my file folders, one by one, while I watched. I didn't touch anything. If he was still watching, I needed him to think I had missed it. I knew who it was. My stepfather worked from home. He had told me once, after his first divorce, that cases like my mom's fall apart without hard evidence. Photos, recordings, dated logs. I had spent 8 months saving every threat he made to her, every hole he punched in the wall beside her, every bruise she tried to cover before work, everything she would need to leave cleanly. He found it. The next morning, I opened the laptop at the kitchen table. Same folders, same routine. Nothing moved, nothing hidden. I let him watch me use it, then waited until he stepped away from his desk. His work computer was still unlocked. It was the same one he'd used to get into mine. I left something running that would record every file he touched, then walked back to my room like I had never been there. That afternoon, I sat where he could see me and did homework. Every ordinary thing I did on that laptop kept him confident. I needed him to go back in. I needed him to finish what he started. By 9 o'clock, he still hadn't. I checked twice and got nothing. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, thinking he had seen something, gotten spooked, decided to wait me out. I almost moved the files myself just to give him a reason, but I didn't. I left everything exactly where he found it and went to sleep. In the morning, the files were gone. Every photo, every recording, the whole dated log deleted, but the record had everything. His login, the file names, each deletion, time-stamped in order. I took it to the right people, not just police, but a counselor at school who knew how to get my mom out safely. He told the police I had staged the whole thing. Then the record showed his login deleting every file himself. The man who taught me how evidence works tried to destroy the evidence. The record caught him doing it. His deletions were the confession. He didn't delete the evidence. He became it. I was mid-sentence in a document when the trackpad went still and my cursor. I was giving my dad one last chance to show up for me, and I picked the father-daughter dance to do it. My mom saw me with my pink dress and shook her head. Don't get your hopes up. He promised he'd come to your graduation too, and you cried for days when he didn't. I nodded because she was right, but he texted saying, I'll be at the dance with your favorite flowers, daisies, and a pink suit to match. So I decided to believe him and headed out the door. At the dance, every girl was spinning with her dad, but I was still waiting for mine. A chaperone knelt beside me. Is your dad coming, sweetie? I texted him fast, and he wrote back, running late, almost there. So I planted myself by the door and watched it. Then the host called out, 10 minutes till the last dance. My heart dropped, and I texted him again, where are you? 3 dots appeared like he was typing, then vanished. I was left on red. The last song played while I stood alone, feeling the same way as graduation. Then my phone buzzed. Mom, I'm outside. My throat tightened because now I had to tell her she was right about him. But when I got in the car, she was crying and grabbed my hand. We have to go, right now. It's about your dad. I know where he is. My hands shook the whole drive because I'd never seen mom like this, and she wouldn't tell me where we were going. Then she pulled into the hospital, and I ran in before she'd even parked. A nurse walked us down a hall, and I stopped cold in the doorway. My dad was in the bed, wrapped in bandages, the torn pink suit still half on him where the paramedics had cut it open. The daisies were on the tray beside him, crushed flat. He saw me, and his eyes filled up. I'm so sorry, he choked out. On the table next to him was his phone, screen spiderwebbed. One message sat open, never sent. Almost there, I'd never leave you alone. The typing stopped because that's when the car hit me. He reached for the daisies with a shaking hand. I didn't want you to feel alone for one more minute and break my promise. I was giving my dad one last. My daughter Callie pushed her breakfast away and crossed her arms. My health teacher, Mrs. Grant, said breakfast is just extra calories and we don't actually need it. I put my coffee down. That isn't true, honey. Skipping meals makes it harder for your brain to focus at school. She pulled a worksheet out of her backpack and slid it across the table. See, she said if we eat too much, we will get fat. I picked the worksheet up and read it and felt my stomach drop because as a registered dietitian, I knew that everything on it was dangerous weight loss advice that could really hurt kids. Callie grabbed her bag and ran for the bus without touching her food, and I reached for my phone. Mrs. Grant picked up on the second ring and started talking before I could finish my first sentence. I have been teaching health for 15 years, and I know what I'm talking about. I told her the worksheet suggested eating habits that could genuinely hurt children, and her voice went sharp. Are you a teacher? No, but I am a registered dietitian, and I work with patients every day who are dealing with permanent damage from this kind of advice. She hung up on me. The next morning, Callie pushed her breakfast away again. Yesterday, Mrs. Grant said that girls who skip breakfast have more energy and better focus. I had heard enough. I grabbed the worksheet, printed a full clinical breakdown of every dangerous claim on it with medical sources, and walked into the principal's office without an appointment. The principal read every page I put on her desk without saying a word. Then she called Mrs. Grant in and slid the worksheet across to her. Can you tell me where this information comes from? Mrs. Grant looked at the worksheet and crossed her arms. I'm just teaching what I know works. I've lost 10 pounds following this advice. The principal fired her because she had just been teaching weight loss strategies she had read in magazines from the 90s. The next morning, Callie came downstairs and pulled her breakfast toward her. We have a new health teacher, and she said we are getting new books for health class. I handed her a fork. Good, now eat your breakfast. My daughter Callie